Hi folks, how you doing? This is Iqbal with NVIDIA Daily Analysis. NVIDIA is still stuck at 130 level at this time. Is this a point of concern and how NVIDIA can move in next few days? We'll try to find the answers to these questions in this video. Now, let's get started. Starting with the daily summary, Nvidia opened at 130.02. It made a high 132.24. It made a low 129.08 and it closed at 131.14. That is 1.25% down. So you can notice that Nvidia price movement was highly volatile today. Lots of ups and downs. So no clarity of direction. But the good thing is the closing price is higher than the opening price. So that tells that, situation is not that bad. But also I was expecting the overall market and Nvidia to go further down after the inflation or CPI data because that came higher than the forecast. Let's take a look. So you can see that the actual year over year came 3.0% versus the forecast 2.9%. In last three cycles, you see that the trend is up from 2.7 to 2.9 to 3%. And that's not a good sign. Now let's take a look core CPI. And core CPI also came higher than the forecast. You see the actual 3.3% versus the forecast 3.1%. In last few cycle, still trending around 3.2 and 3.3. But the overall market behavior showed better than my expectation because I was thinking market to go further down. Let's take a look S&P, Nasdaq and Dow Jones. So you see that S&P was down about 0.27%. After the data, you see that the trend was down, but it picked it up sometime during noon time, and after that, it carried the positive momentum. And Nasdaq closed positive, and that's a good sign. The same behavior in the early morning session after the data. You see, there was no clarity of direction, but sometime during noon, it got the positive momentum. And regarding Dow Jones, you see, after the CPI data, it went down and it started to go further up after sometime noon, but it still closed negative. But if you see overall, market behavior was not that negative. So after this inflation or CPI data, now the Fed officials would be more cautious when it comes to doing the rate cut in the future. Probably they will be more conservative in next few months. And that's not good for the overall market in the long term. But for Nvidia, I still think that Nvidia has the potential to go above 140 level in next few days or sometime by end of next week. And also, since we have the earnings coming, we still have probably about 10 days to go. So still I think Nvidia can make another 10 to 15% positive movement before the earnings. So that's my understanding. But things can go in other direction as well depending on other events and data in next 10 days. Now let's take a look forward P for Nvidia. Nvidia forward P at this point is 37.90. Not a big difference from the previous week closing. Still below 40 forward P. So my understanding is Nvidia should be trading above 40 forward P in next few days. Palantir 217.39. Palantir is having a good time. SMCI 12.49, much better than the previous week closing. But SMCI was also under pressure today. Yesterday, it was a good day for SMCI, after the earnings report. In my opinion, the earnings report overall for SMCI was good and it gives a good future outlook for SMCI. I'm still carrying SMCI stocks that I have, and I think that SMCI has the potential to go further up. The next big thing for SMCI is the filing of 10K before February 25 deadline. AMD 25.22, slightly higher than the last week closing. Now let's take a look percentage change analysis for Nvidia at this point. So based on the cumulative percentage change, Nvidia is down about 6.5% from the previous earnings report. And last quarter, as I showed before, Nvidia went up about 25.74% between the two earnings report. So in this quarter, Nvidia did not have a very good time. But in next 10 days, I'm guessing Nvidia has the potential to go further up about 10 to 15%. Now let's take a look technical chart for Nvidia. You see 180-day hourly interval chart for Nvidia on your screen. As I mentioned in my previous videos, 133.5 was a critical level. So Nvidia went up to about 134 sometime yesterday, but it was not able to sustain above 133 level. So at this point, Nvidia is trading around 130. The next level of support is 127.28. So that's why I mentioned in my previous videos that 133.5 is a critical level. If Nvidia easily crosses this level, then it won't be very difficult for Nvidia to go and touch 141. On the lower side, after 127, we have 121 level, and after that is 112. On the upper side, after 141, we have 153.7, and that's the all-time high. And if you take a look MACD chart, you see that MACD line is below zero level. So that tells that, NVIDIA did not have a good time today and yesterday, and the momentum is negative at this point. I was expecting NVIDIA to go further up yesterday and today, but today, after the hotter than expected CPI data caused NVIDIA and overall market to go down today. So tomorrow and day after tomorrow, I'm expecting some recovery on Nvidia, and also we have the PPI data getting published tomorrow. So that might impact Nvidia and overall market movement as well tomorrow. But if the PPI data does not come higher than the forecast, then probably Nvidia would get a strong positive momentum tomorrow and day after tomorrow. So there is also a possibility tomorrow market would be volatile depending on the PPI data. Let's take a look other news and analysis for Nvidia. Starting with this one that says Congress member Josh, I don't know how to pronounce this, dumps Nvidia, Microsoft loads up on Tesla stock instead. So as you can notice, Tesla stock was under pressure since last few days. But today Tesla got some positive momentum. So now this one, and that's from Trump, that says Trump's proposed chip tariffs threaten AI and the entire stock market. Let's open it. So it says that overall things look positive because the US is poised to win the AI race against China. American chip companies and the AI models are innovating rapidly, but one significant threat looms on the horizon, that is tariff. Mr. Donald Trump may snatch defeat from the jaws of victory with a fixation on chip tariffs. So that's also, in my opinion, a point of concern, and that would bring some volatility because the tariff thing is new to the market, and overall picture is positive regarding the AI sector, but this tariff and some other, proposal from Trump could bring more inflation and also could impact the AI stock prices in the negative direction. So let's scroll down to see if anything regarding Nvidia also. So that tells Nvidia stock slips, why Stargate and Meta are in focus for investors. So not significant for Nvidia. So let's scroll down further, and that's from inflation. That says inflation spike sparks dollar rally. Bitcoin stock slide as interest rate cut doubts grow. So that's a similar analysis, that I presented to you in the beginning of this video after showing you the inflation data. So here again, talking about tariff, that says Taiwan semiconductor under pressure from Trump tariff threat could push advanced packaging capacity to US. So this one, that is good for Nvidia. That tells Nvidia a strong buy with 42% upside, says analysts predicting positive report and outlook ahead of earnings. I'm not expecting Nvidia to go 42% in the next few weeks, but yes, Nvidia has the upside potential before the earnings. So let's scroll down further to see any other news or analysis for Nvidia. Here it says, Mark Zuckerberg's Meta Eyes acquisition of Korean AI chip startup founded by former Samsung and AMD engineer. So he's going in the right direction, probably he's trying to enter in the chip market. Okay, so that's all about Nvidia news and analysis. Let's take a look at my watch list. So as per my watch list, you see that most of the stocks are positive today, with the exception of Nvidia, Microsoft, and Amazon. SMCI also had a good day together with SoundHound and Palantir. And according to the economic data for this week, you see we have the core PPI and the PPI data due tomorrow before market opens, and that's also important. And Friday, we don't have any significant or big data coming up. So Thursday is the only day we need to be watchful. So that's all about my analysis and assessment for today and next few days. Overall, I'm positive regarding Nvidia. I do not have any plan to sell my Nvidia stocks before the earnings. I hope you like the video. Thank you so much for watching. Talk to you more in the next video. Take care.